South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magda Wing Shofit bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video, and I'm going to be reacting to the 17-year-old YouTuber murdered for insulting cartel boss. I remember I did a video about a situation like this that was similar, but it was in Brazil, and it was this crypto investor. I think he was 18 years old, and he was flexing in a Ferrari, mad money on him. The kid was posting his location, having money on him, jewelry, and they end up killing him. So this is a different situation. This is a YouTuber that disrespected a cartel boss, which I don't know what possessed them to do that, man. We know that those cartels be running those countries. They are the government. So that's wild. But without further ado, let's check the story out. I think I heard about this too.
Of the many sins that could be forgiven due to intoxication, insulting a drug lord is not often one of them.
Oh, so he was drunk.
17-year-old Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales ended up dead just weeks after a video of him insulting El Mencho went viral. El Mencho, whose actual name is Ruben Oseguera Cervantes, is the owner of Mexico's fastest-growing cartel, the Jalisco Nueva Generacion. Did El Mencho have hand in the Rosales' death? And how exactly did it all go down? Keep watching. Find out. Today, I will be uncovering the events surrounding the life of Rosales up until his death. The backstory. Rosales was born in Navolato, in the state of Sinaloa, in Mexico. Growing up, he never knew his father, and after staying with his mother for a while, she took him to his grandmother, who ended up raising him. However, Rosales left his grandmother's home and dropped out of high school when he was 15. As if wanting to erase every trace of his origin, he also left Navolato and made for a nearby town called Culiacan. Culiacan became his new home, and Rosales settled in.
I know Culiacan from the Queen of the South TV show, which was an amazing show. I love that show. Let me know in the comments if anybody watched that show. I believe she was from Culiacan, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty quickly. Realizing that he had then to fend for himself, he took the job of washing people's cars and was earning what little he could. By the time Rosales turned 17, he had become the envy of most teenagers his age. At this time, he was earning way more than was expected of a teenager. Plus, it wasn't just about the kind of mini wealth he had amassed. It was also about how he went about making his money. Rosales was a party freak. He often posted videos of himself partying and drinking, so much so that both activities could have passed as his profession. In these videos, which Rosales uploaded to his social media accounts, he would hold up bottles and cans of beer, whiskey, vodka, you name it, and pour them into his mouth. This habit of excessive drinking always led to a very intoxicated.
Yo, if I did a video like that, you think it'll go viral? You feel me? You gotta get 20,000 likes for me to do some shit like that. I don't know. I'm not a drinker like that, bro. So I don't want to die from alcohol poisoning, God forbid.
Rosales displaying his drunken antics for all to see. Strangely, Rosales began to grow famous by posting videos of his drinking adventures on social media. Several people across Mexico and even beyond enjoyed watching these videos. Sometimes he would also post videos of himself taking drugs, passing out from excessive drinking, and throwing money around. While Rosales did all of these, his fan base kept growing. He had over 34,000 followers on Twitter, over 300,000 on Instagram, and over 1 million on Facebook. In no time.
You know what's crazy? He had all those fans, right? But those people really didn't care about him. They were there to see him destroy himself. They were getting entertained by watching this young man doing drugs, drinking, living an unhealthy lifestyle, and they wanted to see his destruction. So having all those fans, sometimes that really doesn't mean nothing, you know? Because those people are just watching to see if you mess up and watch you for your downfall.
Rosales became a buzz on the internet and went by the nickname El Pirata de Culiacan, which means the pirate of Culiacan. Apparently, this nickname was born out of the fondness he grew to have for Culiacan. Due to his popularity, the pirate of Culiacan began to earn spots as a guest in music videos, influential parties, and promotional gatherings. People who didn't know his age easily classified him as an adult. Rosales didn't help matters either, as he kept up with his excessive drinking lifestyle. In Mexico, the legal age for drinking is 18, but Rosales could care less about that. Instead, he indulged himself even more. It almost seemed like he didn't want people to know how old he truly was, as he made it a habit to post pictures and videos of himself handling bundles of cash or posing in luxurious cars and motorcycles. In an attempt to keep up with his being an adult facade, Rosales sometimes painted a beard on it.
You know what it is too? With content creators that make that type of content, they know that the people are watching them for that specific type of content. So if you're blowing up for drinking excessively, partying, doing crazy stuff, people are going to want you to continue doing that, and they're going to want you to up the ante. Like now, you can't just drink 2 bottles, you got to drink 5 bottles. You can't break night for 24 hours, break night for 48 hours, you know? Like they always want you to up the ante. So that's, and a lot of content creators, they end up chasing that high of trying to get viral and go viral again and blow up.
His face. This often replaced his younger look with one a lot more mature. He also had tattoos on both of his arms, a tiger and a pirate, which alluded to him being the pirate of Culiacan. Like all of these weren't enough, the 17-year-old also took to social media posting pictures of himself with scantily clad ladies. Most of the time, these ladies were significantly older than he was. In addition to that, he would post pictures of himself carrying guns and other kinds of weapons. At this point, it is safe to say that anyone living this kind of life would feel invincible and develop the mindset that he could get away with anything. Slowly, Rosales was cultivating that mindset, and it did not help that he broke the law several times and got away with it. Legally, Rosales wasn't supposed to do drugs, flaunt weapons, and take alcohol since he was still a minor, but he continued to do just that. He boldly did all of these things, and even went as far as sharing the pictures and videos on his social media accounts. In August of 2017, Rosales was arrested for underage drinking, which you have to admit was long overdue, seeing how the teenager was far from the legal drinking age at
the cops were like, yo, we have enough of this dude. We got to make an example.
Time. Of course, this incident did next to nothing to help Rosales because after he was released, he immediately picked up where he left off. During an interview with the producer of Univision Entertainment, Pepe Garza, Rosales stated that he was an alcoholic, but he wanted to change that so he could pursue a music career. He further said that he had signed a contract with Cash Records and added, I want to learn to sing now. That's going to be my motto. And
that's another thing. That's like another trend that has been going on lately the last couple of years, where there are people that are becoming music artists that don't have any musical background. They never wanted to pursue music, but they get these deals from these labels because they're popular, they viral. So then they're like, you know what, let's see if we could turn them into an artist and capitalize. The whole music industry nowadays is just a quick money flip, bro. They don't care about cultivating artists anymore. They just want to use somebody up for what they could get out of them, and then they're done with you.
perhaps the authorities didn't do enough, because although these videos usually went viral, implying that the authorities probably caught a whiff of them several times, they barely intervened. Instead, the pirate of Culiacan kept rising in fame. He gained more followers, more invites to parties, and more business deals. Seeing how there was no one in his way, Rosales continued to push boundaries without a care in the world. But you know, the thing about boundaries is that you can only push so far. Ruben Oseguera Cervantes, aka El Mencho. In December 2017, Rosales released a video making jest of El Mencho, where he said, El Mencho a mí me pela la verga, which roughly translates to saying that El Mencho can suck his d. In the video, Rosales was visibly intoxicated, obviously due to excessive drinking, as per usual. If the circumstance...
My whole thing is, what caused them to say that? Did somebody egg him on? Somebody gas him up? Like, oh, you know, they probably set that kid up to say something crazy knowing it would lead to something like that happening to him.
Circumstances were different, this video would probably have passed as one of the many stunts he often pulled to entertain his followers.
Listen, in New York, you say that, man, the SMD, we know what that is, bro. That's like, you're inviting all smoke. You know, there's dudes that are willing to die behind that and willing to kill behind saying something like that. A lot of kids nowadays be using that word too loosely, bro. Like, if you say that, then people are going to want to see, all right, let's see where your heart at. Let's see if you really about this shit, bro.
probably would have gained him more followers and more recognition. However, the circumstances were very different from what he was accustomed to. In the video, Rosales had referred to El Mencho, leader of Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación. As we mentioned earlier in the video, Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación translates to New Generation Jalisco Cartel. This cartel is popularly known as one of the deadliest organized crime syndicates in Mexico. They are usually described as the most violent and second most powerful cartel in Mexico, the first being Cartel de Sinaloa. Cartel de Sinaloa was once championed by the drug lord El Chapo. The New Generation Jalisco Cartel is somewhat new, especially compared to cartels that have been around the longest. Although it is just over 10 years old, it has grown significantly in wealth and power. The cartel was put together after a splinter group chose detachment from another crime syndicate known as the Millennial Cartel.
My whole thing is with these cartels over there, I be like wondering, how are there so many different cartels able to operate in the same areas? Like, I know they got different territory that they control, but maybe that's why they be beefing with each other, is over like who's gonna control the shipments, the routes and stuff like that. I always find that like interesting. Like, how is there so many different cartels able to operate in the same areas?
The New Generation Jalisco Cartel might still be in its development stage, but over time it has easily drawn the attention of the general public, including the media. One time, it was said that
the thing is, they probably feel like they got more to prove. Since they newer, they're gonna end up doing more things that are worse. They want to prove that they can hang with the big boys, so they're gonna push things further, be more violent, do more crazy things, you feel me?
Shut down an
to
army
make a name for
helicopter with an
themselves.
RPG in an attempt to protect their boss. The incident led to the death of 6 soldiers. Another time, they cut off the head of a pig and sent it to an attorney general in a bid to have him feel intimidated. In another of their escapades, they laid an ambush for a group of policemen and were able to kill about 14 of them as a result. In addition to all of these, the New Generation Jalisco Cartel has been responsible for the deaths of judges, members of Congress, and ordinary citizens. They also have a reputation where drugs are concerned. According to US officials, they are the major suppliers of over 1/3 of illegal drugs that circulate in the United States. They have also gone as far as distributing in Europe and Asia. The New Generation Jalisco Cartel also has multiple methamphetamine labs set up across Mexico. They not only produce and sell crystal meth illegally, but they also do the same with cocaine. While it might look like this cartel only has brutal mass murders and illegal drugs to its name, you should know that it is also famous for stealing crude oil. Other criminal activities they engage in include selling arms, kidnapping, extortion, and other violent crimes. Unlike El Chapo, everything about El Mencho screams mystery. It is said that he loves working from the shadows, almost like a ghost. El Mencho is not only on the list of the top wanted criminals in Mexico, but also in the United States. In Mexico,
I mean, they got his picture though, right? With that type of money though, you could get facial reconstruction, plastic surgery. You could do all type of things to change how you look, bro. That's kind of smart though. He don't want to have a target on his back and he just laying low. You know, he's like freaking Cobra Commander. He's operating from the shadows, but you know he's there.
Mexico in particular, he takes the #1 spot as the most wanted drug lord. El Mencho is wanted for drug trafficking, illegal possession of weapons, and his being involved in organized crime. El Mencho started off as a member of the Millennial Cartel, but soon decided to create his own organized crime organization because his bosses often got arrested or killed. After the arrest of El Chapo, El Mencho quickly rose to fame. Owning one of the deadliest cartels in Mexico, the New Generation Jalisco Cartel has had several affiliations to brutal mass murders in the past. In 2011, authorities found 35 dead bodies on the streets of Veracruz, a port city on the Gulf of Mexico. These bodies appeared tortured and dismembered. In 2013, this same cartel raped and murdered a 10-year-old girl whom they believed to have been a daughter of a rival cartel leader. After killing her, they proceeded to set her on fire. It was already too late when they realized she wasn't who they thought she was. Under his leadership...
So she was an innocent girl too? It's bad enough. You know, that's bad regardless. But she was innocent, bro?
Mexico recorded a 20% rise in homicide rates, with a record of 20,000 deaths. This statistic equated to an average of about 69 deaths per day. There are alleged reports that El Mencho was once a member of the police force, but was sentenced to 3 years in prison for selling heroin. Whether or not that is true, it is pretty evident that the man is no longer on that side of the law.
That's not even a fact though. They don't know if that's true or not, if he worked for the police. He's so mysterious now, they adding myths to his legend and stuff.
His infamous nature led the United States government to put a bounty offer on his head. It is said that whoever is able to provide information that is likely to lead to his arrest will be rewarded with a sum of $10 million.
Damn.
So far, this has been recorded as the highest sum of money the US government is willing to pay as a bounty. As you might have expected as well, the drug lord also has...
Even if you was to, you know, provide any information about his whereabouts or get him locked up, $10 million wouldn't be enough. You feel me? Because they're going to get you regardless. They make billions and billions of dollars, bro. So, a word, they put 10 million on the boss, we're going to double that on whoever ratted on him.
Has a bounty offer on his head in his hometown. In Mexico, authorities are willing to pay the sum of 30 million pesos, which is equivalent to $1.5 million US. Knowing all of these, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that El Mencho is not the kind of guy to play around with.
And another thing, there might be people that are afraid to tell because he probably got people that work in the police. So as soon as somebody tips them off, he's going to get tipped off too. He's going to know, oh, word, somebody's telling, and then it's going to be bad.
However, Rosales chose to do precisely that. He not only cursed the infamous drug lord, but he also went ahead and released the video on the internet, a video which many Mexican press publications called, in effect, the initiator of a countdown for his time here on Earth, the murder. On December 18th, 2017, weeks after the video of Rosales calling out El Mencho went viral, he made the second biggest mistake that likely sped up that countdown. He had made a post telling his fans to meet him at a bar in the Guadalajara metropolitan area in Jalisco. Meanwhile, this area happened to be where many of the drug trades took place in Jalisco. At about 11 p.m. that same day, a group of men carrying guns swarmed into the bar and started shooting. Although it is said that Rosales was the main target, a 25-year-old employee in the bar also got killed. It was reported that Rosales was shot about 15 to 18 times, which means he definitely died on the spot, and he was only able to be identified through the tattoos he had on his arms. Rosales' death is included in the 1,400 people who died in the state of Jalisco that year. Even though there were speculations that El Mencho was responsible for the death of Rosales, seeing as the teen died just weeks after the video about El Mencho went viral. The killers have still not been identified, therefore, no one has yet been arrested for the death of the 17-year-old. A Mexican newspaper, Periódico Supremo, reposted the video and captioned it, "I firm su trato de muerte," which means, thus signed his deal of death. While some of Rosales' fans shared their condolences, a few mentioned that he should have known better than to make jest of a drug lord such as El Mencho. A fellow Instagram star remembered Rosales after his death by posting a caption that read, "He told me that he wanted to change, but on the weekend there was no lack of bad influences. You were living a fast life, you never listened, and I don't judge you. Those who knew you know you were a good person." Be that as it may, Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales could have lived a much longer life under normal circumstances. However, he chose to live a fast life, and then he took things way too far when he decided to play with fire. He got the fame he sought.
All right, that's the video. One thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that he said that the guys that did the killing, they don't know who did it. They weren't identified, haven't been arrested. But I feel like, yo, bro, dudes in Mexico, they get away with everything. Like, does it even matter? Like, of course they not arrested. They probably never gonna be arrested, bro. Like, how does the law system, like, do the cops even work out there? Like, what's going on with Mexico, bro? Because I feel like dudes just could get away with everything, bro, over there. Nothing really happens. But I don't know. Maybe I got to do some more research. But yeah, man, this was wild, bro. Homie should have just chilled out with that one. You know, he should have never put out that video and disrespect the drug. But especially when you live over there. Even though if you did that in America, they probably could get to you regardless. You know, but it'll be a little bit harder. He was in the lion's den, bro. And he just, like I said, he ended up destroying himself, bro. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the reaction, please hit the like button, subscribe. It's your boy Dollars. I'ma holla.
For my time goes by, they gon' raise a nigga jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming on my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get her when I fly. Taking off on these niggas I retire. The minute I catch fire, I smoked them all before, just revisiting the high.